Welcome back to Scarlet and Maize. I'm Adam.
I'm Zach.
Ohio State 20, Penn State 13. We've seen this game play out every time they've played since James Franklin has been the coach for the most part, 2016 notwithstanding. What are your takeaways from the game?
You know, I think Ohio State responded really well to, like, the offensive line, first of all, played incredible considering they have still room to improve, obviously, but they played great, and I really loved the guard, Hinsman, who started at center last year, has been on the bench all year, came in at guard, played great, and his energy was incredible. Like when we got one, I think after we got the goal line stop and we were at the 1 yard line, we got 5 yards on that QB sneak. He was so hype, and I just thought it was incredible. I was like, this guy's energy is awesome, and I just hope his energy on the offensive line and Jackson playing good at left tackle, it was huge, and that last drive was just like an epitome of that. Like, they ran it every single play and just killed the clock.
Yeah. And so my take about them not running the ball in close big games was incorrect.
Yeah, it's funny because especially they had all the reason to go away from the run game. I mean, not with the way the game went, but the way the season had been going the last couple games, they had all the reason to just throw it every play. And I thought Chip Kelly called an incredible game. There were so many plays where I was just like, wow, they're just taking advantage of numbers, and just they had a lot of those quick sweeps to the outside, to the short side of the field with the receivers all on the other side. There was just numbers on that side, and they were just easy runs for our running backs, getting huge chunks on those plays, and it was just great play calls over and over and over again. That 4th down was so stressful. It felt like the ball was in the air forever. Then it felt like he bobbled Thurman felt like he bobbled it forever, and that was a huge play in that game too. But Will Howard, other than the couple mistakes he had, I thought he played incredible as well. Like, he had 2 major mistakes that didn't end up,
6 to start the game.
Right, yeah. And to bounce back after that too is incredible. Like, getting a touchdown on that next drive was huge, and he was great on that drive and threw that touchdown pass to Ibuka. And yeah, to be able to respond to that, especially after he said the thing about, we'll see if they should have recruited me or not. And
well, to be fair, Ohio State didn't either.
Yeah, right. It was just funny too. That's the first thing I thought of when he was saying that. And it's like, but yeah, and
he was not a highly touted recruit.
Right, yeah. And then the defense was incredible. That goal line stand was huge and awesome. I mean, partly.
I can't believe that. Are you talking about? I don't know. The pick to end the half.
That was awesome. And
insane.
That was so huge.
How they say touchdown, and no, it's well, at first, I don't remember if they signaled touchdown or the crowd just thought it was a touchdown. The announcer said it was a touchdown.
Yeah.
But then they're like, oh, it's actually an interception.
Yeah.
Holy
insane.
crap.
And when Igmanosin got up, insisting that it was an interception, I was like, probably not.
Right.
And then they showed it again, and I was like, holy shit, that is awesome. And what a clutch play to end the half. Like, if Penn State gets points there,
it's a whole different game. Lost by 7.
Right.
Which, who knows how the second half plays out.
Because
Penn State would have been up, not just tied, but then, those points, obviously, difference in the score. But.
Right. And then, the D-line was good. I feel like there was something else I wasn't talking about. I don't know. The defense is revamped and looks really good. I don't know where they were shutting down Tyler Warren. They weren't scheming him well enough to get him the ball, I don't think, but he had a few big plays for them. I think on that drive that we ended up getting the goal line stand, he was kind of getting a lot of their yards on that drive. But I think rightfully so. Ohio State's now number 2, right behind Oregon. I think that was a great decision by the committee. I think that Ohio State deserves to be ranked higher than Georgia, even though they're not in the AP poll. But I really like the Buckeyes. They're actually the betting favorite now again on some betting websites to win the Natty.
Interesting.
So.
I don't really have anything to add. I honestly, once they got that pick in the end zone to end the half, I was like, come on, James Franklin. Like, you had enough time to do any back shoulder fades, like goal line fades, are not efficient. They don't normally end in touchdowns. So what are you doing?
They also don't normally end in interceptions.
That's true, but like, why are you just throwing it away then? Do anything else. Aller had been running it well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was just like, anytime if Michigan did it for Colston Loveland, it would make sense because their offense is just ass.
Yes.
But you can do anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe if they would have thrown it up to Tyler Warren.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or had Tyler Warren throw it up to the receiver.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Oregon 38, Michigan 17. Honestly, it was closer than I thought. It was really 31-17. Michigan had a chance to score. And Kirk Campbell, in my mind, like if I was shown more and that was the play call, that's the nail in the coffin, the final nail in the coffin for Kirk Campbell. Unless Kirk Campbell is why Bryce Underwood is maybe still listening to Michigan. But if they lose Bryce Underwood, Kirk Campbell's out. If they get Bryce Underwood, we go, hey, how much do you like this guy? Do you care? No? Okay, he's out. Because that was ridiculous. And back out on Wink. He can be gone. Davis Warren looked all right. So that's cool. Hopefully he never has to play after this season. But he's looking better. Makes me hindsight all that, but like maybe should have stuck with him or just gone with Orgy for a bit and gone back to him sooner, or just taking him out for that game that he got benched in when he was throwing all the picks. Like, hey, it's not your day. Be back next week. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Just because Tuttle clearly and obviously was not it and is now retired. So
Yeah.
whatever.
Wild turn of events there.
I mean, the final score is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Also, the game was closer than this. So
Yeah. There you
whatever. It made me back on getting rid of both coordinators. So we'll see.
Do you know what bowl game Michigan's looking at playing in?
Little Caesars, probably. Is that still a thing?
Yeah, you gonna go?
Detroit? No, I won't go.
What?
Yeah. Maybe if Jaden Davis starts.
Hmm.
Just to see what he's got.
Yeah.
One step further take?
I think Ohio State is rightfully so the betting favorite for the national championship, and I think they're gonna get it done this year. If they play the way they played against Penn State and Will Howard cleans up those mistakes,
and they don't have to play Oregon again.
No, honestly, like I would be really confident if they played Oregon again. I'm not like obviously like Oregon's a really good team, and every game there's a chance they could lose. But if Ohio State plays the way they played against Penn State, I think they can beat anybody in the country.
We'll see if they get over that Michigan hurdle. But I forgot the pick standings. I cleaned up.
Yeah,
I went 8-1, got another bonus point. I have 12 more wins, 3 fewer losses. I'm up by 5%. You went 4-4 for the record. So I'm feeling real good. This late in the season, I really gotta mess up.
Speaking of the Michigan hump,
I got a really Kirk Campbell it, you could say.
I think the Michigan game this year is a win-win for Ohio State because like if Ohio State loses to Michigan again, it's obviously time to cut the ties, time to go, and then hopefully they get Kirk and Yeti. So it's a win-win in my mind.
There you go.
Ohio State.
What if they fire Ryan Day and promote Chip Kelly?
Yeah, that won't happen.
Or Jim Knowles, or the receivers coach. What's his
Brian
name?
Hartline.
Brian Hartline. Just went blank on that. My one step further take is James Franklin is as bad of a coach as Luke Fickell, who we know that I just hate.
Yeah.
So James Franklin is just so bad.
It's just so crazy because like, I think it'd be a little different for me like, if it was always a blowout. But it's just like I feel bad for the guy at a certain point when every single year he's right there with Ohio State.
Yeah, he gets a raise like every other year, so I don't feel bad for him at all.
Like, yeah, but like it's like this guy's so close. Like if they had the 12-team playoff the whole time he was at Penn State, they make it like 6 or 7 times.
And losing the first game every year.
Maybe they probably would have won 1 or 2 in the first round.
Yeah.
if they pulled the 5 seed, they probably would have pulled the 5 seed in 2016, and then they would have beat whoever was the Power 5 champ.
I think Michigan was ranked 5th or 6th or something in 2016.
Really, they ranked higher than, because didn't Penn State win the Big Ten in 2016?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But they didn't. They picked Ohio State over Penn State for the playoffs. So the
I
Penn
just
State was
remember
probably
conference
5.
championship week. If everything went a certain way, Michigan had a shot.
Mm.
Well, because Michigan destroyed Penn State that year too.
Yeah.
Or no, they didn't destroy them, but they beat them.
Yeah. That was kind of their turning point. No, I think they did destroy them. Because then I think they turned the season around after that. I think they smoked them. And then they beat Ohio State on that. They got that blocked field goal and got lucky.
Yeah.
The one time James Franklin beat Ohio State, blocked field goal.
Big Ten takeaways? Mine is I never thought I would dread Michigan playing Indiana. And here we are. 2014. This is Trump's America.
Would you dread them playing Appalachian State right now?
No.
Who wouldn't? At least in the Big Ten, who wouldn't
Honestly,
you dread them playing other than like Northwestern and
the
Purdue?
offense is looking mid-MAC level, and that raises my feeling on it. Like 2-3 weeks ago, I would have been like, yeah, I don't want them to play anybody.
Yeah.
Just honestly, because the offense was so bad. Now I think they could win the MAC.
Win the MAC?
Maybe. I think the defense relatively to the MAC would do better. So
yeah, that's fair. Yeah. The defense would hold their own.
Big Ten takeaway?
I feel like there's not much to say at this point. Like after this week, it's Ohio State and Oregon.
And that's it. Not Indiana? That's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
Yo,
but
Kurt Signetti. Listen to what this guy just said.
It's disrespectful, but I'm not like. Obviously, I think Ohio State's going to beat Indiana, and that's all that matters for that. So.
That is all that matters for Indiana's undefeated national championship hopes.
Yeah.
Indiana's going to go undefeated and win the Natty.
Yeah.
Obviously. I do think they are going to make the playoff.
Yeah.
Almost assuredly.
Yeah, unless they get upset by somebody that they most
Before
likely...
we started recording, you said Michigan was going to beat Indiana. I don't know if you were joking.
No, yeah, I was totally joking.
Okay.
Yes. I don't think Michigan has much of a chance, but they I mean, obviously they could. I wouldn't be that shocked if Michigan pulled off the upset, but dude, we called it early. I feel like we called it earlier than most people did how good Indiana is, and like that they had a real shot to go 11-1. Like I feel like we were the first ones to the ball on that on this show, and look at them now. Like it looks way more likely now that they go 11-1. Obviously, because there's less games to play, but
yeah,
even just how they look, like they got to beat Ohio. They got to beat Michigan's their toughest team on their schedule than Ohio State, and so
yeah, that's crazy.
Like, they're almost a lock for the playoff as long as they beat everybody other than Ohio State. They're in.
Yeah,
I mean even
We're ranked 8th right now.
Yeah, I also
I wonder when the last time was that they have been ranked this high.
2020 they were top 10.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah.
Didn't look it up. From Indiana football historically to the rapid fire turd pile.
Yeah.
We got Iowa at UCLA. I got Iowa.
I got UCLA in this one.
Minnesota at Rutgers. I got Minnesota.
I got Rutgers.
Are you just throwing a Hail Mary here?
No. I mean, I've been a believer of Shiano since he's been there, and I think
Didn't you pick against him last week?
Yeah, I think so, but I like it. I like him at home. So.
Okay. Maryland at Oregon.
I got Maryland. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I got Oregon.
Oregon. Washington at Penn State. I said a long time ago that Washington was going to pick off one of the big boys. Michigan obviously was not one of the big boys. Washington did beat Michigan. I got Washington for real. Washington over Penn State. James Franklin after losses is dog shit. Washington, I think, is going to get it done. Washington is going to beat Penn State.
I think that would probably be his last game, no?
He'll probably get a raise. He'll go, I don't know, some other team is talking. LSU is going to fire Brian Kelly, and then they're going to come after me. And then they'll go, here's $3 million more a year.
He's going to be coaching Indiana next year when Kurt Signetti's coaching Ohio State.
How about this? Indiana would be stupid to hire him.
Yeah,
There's got to be a Cignetti disciple there.
I got Penn State.
On to the varsity games, and this one is only on there because of Indiana. Michigan at Indiana. I got Indiana.
I was going to say that if you didn't say it. Because of Indiana. But yeah, I got Indiana as well. Yeah.
Here's the trap for Ohio State. Week after a big win against the team that's been most successful against them, other than Michigan the last 3 years, for a while.
Yeah.
Purdue at Ohio State. I got Ohio State.
The only issue with that is they
suck.
Oh no, I think almost every single time that they've been upset by Purdue in the last 25 years, which is a lot more than most teams. It's almost always been at Purdue, and I think that's the difference here is it's at Ohio State. I got Ohio State in this one.
Yeah. Game of the week, Bama LSU. I got LSU by 3.
I like the Tide here. I'm not a believer in either of these teams, but I think that Milton and Bama get it done.
I haven't been a believer in Brian Kelly in a while, and I am selling quickly on Kalen DeBoer.
I just said Milton, but not getting.
Huh?
I said Milton. I was talking about Bama.
Oh, I didn't even.
What? I can't think of his name now. Milrow. Close enough, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got Bama.
Yeah. Things no one is talking about. Mine is Sharon Moore not recruiting well because he is recruiting, I believe, better than Harbaugh has at Michigan already. And there's rumors not just at a certain position, but there's rumors that they're going to finish very strong. Not, to be clear, still not at Ohio State, Bama, Georgia levels.
Yeah.
But better than Michigan has.
They have a top 10 class?
So it depends on if it's per recruit or overall. I think overall, no. But I think per recruit, it's up to like 8th or something.
Makes sense.
But then if some of these rumors happen, it could be like 5 or something.
Yeah, that's good for them, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably close to Harbaugh's best classes,
yeah.
I mean, probably better than his best classes, yeah.
You have something no one's talking about?
The way Ohio State's running backs block,
I did see a few clips of Travion Henderson just killing some people.
Well, the one that Will Howard fumbled out of the end zone, Trey Henderson had an incredible block on that one that just led the way. Then Quinshon Judkins had one leading the way for Will Howard on that game-sealing first down, and that was also an incredible block. Then Travion Henderson had another one I saw in pass protection that was awesome, and it was on the way to his running a route. He pancaked a defensive lineman, then ran a route. The O-line fell apart on that play anyway, and Will Howard got sacked. But it was
crazy.
Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. They're two of the best backs in the country, and it's not just because of the way they run the ball. They block really well, too.
Tweet of the week. Mine is a quote retweet originally from CBS Sports College Football. It was ahead of the Michigan-Oregon game. And they said if they pull, it's a quote from someone else, but I don't remember who that's from because they used their Twitter handle. But they said if they pull off this upset, this will be like a national championship win for them. And then at Brymac on Twitter said, you know what would also be like a national championship win for them? Because Michigan won it last year. It's like they know what it's like. I feel like that quote is treating them like a poverty program when they're coming off of a national championship. So,
well, going back to the things no one's talking about, I haven't really been paying attention to Michigan's recruiting because I'm not worried about them because they kind of are a poverty program at this point.
this season they're pretty bad.
You got hope for next season?
Yeah, Jesse Minter's going to come back. Can we talk? No, we don't have to talk about it. But Jesse Minter has the #1 defense in the NFL, and Connor Stalions isn't there. So maybe you shut up.
What team is he coaching?
Chargers.
Oh,
they
have the #1 defense. Interesting.
He's the DC for Harbaugh.
They have an easy schedule. They haven't played anybody on offense. Okay. They just played the Browns.
They went from like always in the 20s to then he came and immediately they're the best defense in the country. I think his take on the Wink Martindale defense,
but that's
his play calling is just has not been figured out yet.
But that's the thing though, is even like Harbaugh always had a good defense, but then I think the offense was more of the struggle. Like even before.
I like that the Ohio State fan is saying that Jim Harbaugh, who had Don Brown, always had a great defense.
It was a good defense until they played Ohio State, until they played a real offense. like they always had like a top 10 defense going into that game, and then Ohio
And
State
then
being so
did-
bad that it wouldn't be a top 10.
When did that
defense.
change? When they got Mike McDonald and then Jesse Minter?
Well, they got rid of Don Brown before that.
It went from Don Brown to Mike McDonald.
So what happened in 2020?
Don Brown
Oh, okay,
last year.
interesting.
Yeah. Tweet of the week?
Yeah, mine is kind of boring, but it's just I feel like we had Ohio State had a lot of struggles with the pre-snap penalties, and so this is just from @Zona Buckeye, and it's my favorite underrated stat from yesterday. It's when he tweeted it, was the day after the game, was the 0 pre-snap penalties. I thought that was pretty great.
Dang.
They're just playing better football in general and more disciplined football, and I'm really excited for where the Buckeyes are playing in November. And they're playing pretty good.
Must be nice.
That's what Jim Trussell says. You got to play your best football in November, and they are right now. So.
That's when they'd get their gold pants to sell, so it's like extra motivation. With that, we'll see you next week, because I cannot sim to next season. And until then, go Blue.
Go Buckeyes.